Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. And here you found the goodest good possible, the greatest show about happiness, joy on the internet. Finding happiness and joy with Edwin and Barry. There is no greater show on earth. Welcome. Get ready. Buckle up, because you're about to find happiness and joy. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good, because you have tuned in to the greatest show on happiness and joy on the entire internet, which means the entire world. Isn't that amazing that you can do this, and you've done it consciously and conscientiously? Because on this show of Edwin and Barry, Finding Happiness and Joy, that we discuss the three fundamentals of life, and that these three fundamentals are going to enable you to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? The three fundamentals of life, of course, are number one, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. Now, in this case, it's a good number two. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. If you lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. That's right, everyday words and terms. Give you a simple example. Right now, our show is being carried over the internet, of course, worldwide. Tens of thousands of people are tuning in to this podcast, and people are marking it on their calendar the first Thursday and the third Thursday of every month going forward for the rest of our lives. How do you like that? So just book it. 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, which of course changes throughout the world, but 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, the first Thursday, the third Thursday of every month going forward. So just bookmark it and get ready and join, listen. Now, of course, if you're not able, you can listen to the recording, and therefore what? Share this. Now, we urge you to share it with at least 5 people. So therefore, by the time you share with 5 people, we'll have touched 100,000 people. That's right, because we have over 20,000 people listening from all over the world right now. So let's touch 5 more, get to 100,000. And again, remember to give a rating, a great rating, and to share the podcast. That's the most important thing. Sharing the podcast even more than giving a rating, but just share. SHARE is a great acronym that stands for spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy. Spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy. Now, you notice, of course, that the show is Edwin and Barry, Happiness and Joy. Edwin is the Chief Happiness Officer, and Barry Shore, myself, the Ambassador of Joy. Now, he happens to be at this very moment that my dear partner, Edwin, is back in his home country of Nigeria, and even more specifically in Benin City, Benin. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. And he just texted me, thank God he's able to do that there are technical issues with him getting onto the show for the connecting to the internet and doing this. So I'm carrying the show for both of us. And he said, go forth, Barry. I know you can do it. And it might happen sometime that won't be able to join, and Edwin will do the show. The important thing is that you are here, because this show is not even about Edwin. It's not about Barry. It's about you. You becoming the best you possible, the YOU. And that's why you tuned in. Remember, you care the most in the entire world about you. And when you become the best you make a difference in the world. Because when you're the best you build more bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And we need you, and we need more joy and happiness. I'll make a statement, by the way. Throughout history, there's always been a need for more happiness and joy. Yes, Right now, it seems that the world is in collision, that there are so many things happening on a global level, on international levels, on national levels, on personal levels, in your own oneness level, that has never been this way before in the history of the world. Okay, that's not true. There's always been times, sometimes much worse, much worse. The genius of this show, the genius of what Edwin Edderberry brings as the chief happiness officer, and what hopefully Barry Shore brings as the ambassador of joy, is to give you courage, strength, skills, the ability to go forth and to live life to the full so that you become a channel of goodness, a child of God. We call that a cog. Interesting enough, a cog, C-O-G, oftentimes is a small piece in a large machine. If you look up cog, you'll see that it's just a piece in a machine, oftentimes small in a large situation. The interesting thing about a cog is, like an engine in an automobile, is that if that one cog is not there in the right place or is bent or something's wrong, the machine doesn't work. So the machine called the world doesn't work as well unless you become the great cog that you are, no matter the size. Again, cog stands for channel of goodness. When you make the decision, this is the key, when you make the decision to live life as a channel of goodness, you also become a child of God. And when that happens, you have all the power in the world that is necessary. Now, notice I use the word power, by the way, not force. Here's the Star Wars movie, May the Force be with you. I prefer, may the power be with you. Power is something that can be used and channeled and is good. It could be used in the other way also. But power generally is for good. Force oftentimes has a negative connotation. I prefer power over force. By the way, you can make comments and share them and say, Barry Shore, I like that. Or Barry Shore, no, I don't like that. May the power be with you. So let's talk about my friend Edwin for the moment. Edwin Edderberry is the chief happiness officer. He hails from Nigeria in Africa. Now, I shouldn't have to say in Africa, but a lot of people are geography challenged these days. They don't know. So you can look it up, or if you know where it is, that's fine. But if you don't, yeah, look it up and see. Nigeria is one of the more interesting countries in the entire world, certainly on the continent of Africa. It is a country rich in history. It is a country rich in natural resources. It is a country rich in population. It is a country rich in educated people. It is a country that can contribute dramatically to the benefit of the world. Edwin comes from Nigeria. He is now in a place called Benin City, Benin, Benin City. Now, Benin City is different from the country called Benin. So just look up Benin City and you'll see several interesting things. One is that it's the capital of a particular state. The state is called Edo, E-D-O. Benin City is a large population, 1.8 million people in Benin City. It is an ancient city. Matter of fact, it is the seat of a remarkable civilization dating back certainly before the 13th century, the 1200s. So that's more than, let's say that's about 800 plus years ago. And famous, by the way, for their bronzes, their bronze doors, their bronze work, and also for ivory work and woodwork. And the doors, the famous Benin doors, were so prized that when the British came and conquered the area, they were benign, I'm using a pun, benign rulers, but they still were rulers there. They used force. They also used their power, but they used both power and force. The British took the most famous of the Benin doors back to the United Kingdom, to Britain, and they reside there in the British Museum. I'm sure that the country of Nigeria is trying to get them back, but that's another story. But yes, the Benin city is a famous ancient civilization, and Edwin comes from there, and he's there at the moment with his extended family and loving it for the summer. So we say, yay, Edwin. We miss you, we love you, and we thank you. Edwin is, again, as I said, the chief happiness officer. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that he's done that are really critical to your understanding about happiness. Number one, Edwin, when he came to the United States of America, came here with very little, except three things. A, education. B, a drive to succeed. And number three, a willingness to learn more. Do you hear this? This is the function of a successful being, to use education, to have drive, because you need that, because things happen along the way. There are bumps and paths and twists and turns in life. Drive and the ability to learn more. Edwin was possessed by learning about what makes people happy. So he went out on his own initiative and he began to interview people on the streets of where he lived in Northern California. And it wasn't an interview of 22 seconds like a TikTok thing. It was several minutes, sometimes a half hour, sometimes longer. And he asked people, what makes you happy? He didn't interview 10 or 20 or 50 or 100. He kept going. He realized that he needed a large base to understand the different answers. He interviewed more than 1,000 people. And he found several things that are critical to understanding what makes people happy. I'm going to share with you just a couple. One of them is that happiness, if you let happiness be dictated by your emotions, you will most likely not be happy in your life. Why? Because your emotions change. They're like the ocean. You're always in motion in the ocean. And people have moods. And mood is a wonderful word because I write about it in my book, The Joy of Living, which, by the way, is available at no cost. I'm going to make a plug here. It is available at no cost. Go to barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE.com. First of all, there's a lot of great information there, but go to barryshore.com/ebook and click and receive The Joy of Living. No cost. There are 2 other books up there that I've written that are also great, but get one. That's all you can have for the moment for no cost. Get the book. In there, I talk about the word mood because almost everybody has a mood. Look at the word mood backwards, MOOD. Backwards spells doom. That's right. You get into a mood, a funk. Oh, this is how I feel. Doom. What you want to do is break out from that and understand that it's the mind that is the key to your success. When you can learn, as Edwin would say, that being happy is a skill. You hear this? It's a skill, like learning how to jump, swim, run, walk, speak, read, write, interface, communicate. It's a skill. When you learn the skill set of being happy, by definition, you can and will become happy all the time. Are you telling me, Barry Shore, that you can be happy 24/7? No, Edwin will tell you. Edwin, tell them. Yes, you can be happy 24/7. And he teaches the skills. That's what we do on this podcast. So I just gave you the Edwin approach for life at the moment. It's a skill. You can learn how to be happy. By the way, our forthcoming book, which is called Finding Happiness and Joy, with Edwin and Barry. Great cover. Edwin and Barry on the front cover. What a tremendous duo. In our book, we talk about a skill set for happiness. And then the next chapter is about joy, joy, happiness, joy, happiness. It's the same coin with two sides, and how you integrate these two remarkable processes in your life, because they're not exactly the same, even though they can be interchanged and will help you grow. And again, that's really the purpose of them. GROW stands for generating rays of wisdom, because it is wise to be happy. It is wise to live in joy. You have to know how to do it. Knowledge is wonderful. Wisdom is greater. Strive for wisdom in life. And again, we urge everybody, share this podcast with 5 people. Share, spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy. So I want to talk about what's happening right now in the world, the Northern Hemisphere, which is summertime. Summer is so wonderful. Just speaking the word summer makes you feel wow. Wow stands for words of wisdom, words of wonder. Sun. Yeah, sunshine. That's what you think of when you think of summer. Okay, lots of rain too, some places, but sunshine. And you feel expansive. You feel like things are possible. Long days to do what? Yes, to think. Think is an amazing word to harness insightful neural connections. Just lay back in the grass and look at the clouds in the sky and formations and think about what they mean and do, and just to be. Just to be. And while you're in the state of being, to utilize your thoughts, your words, and your actions to do the following. Please think about these 3 W's. WWW, by the way, stands for What a Wonderful World. That's what the internet is all about. You use it correctly. WWW, what a wonderful world. And what is a word? WHATA. The 3 W's also are, why am I here? Who am I? And once I know why I'm here and who I am, what am I supposed to do? What do I do now? Well, part of this podcast is about that. You want to have some things you can do. Well, one of the things I mentioned for happiness, it's a skill set, using your mind. That's the first thing you can do, is to understand that it's the mind, not the heart and the emotions that are in charge. That's number 1. Number 2, when you come to joy, let's talk about your living up to your potential. Now, UP is a great acronym that stands for unique purpose. What is your unique purpose? Part of the genius of the summer and long days and sunshine and brightness and feeling that good flowing through you, remember you're a channel of goodness, is to think about it. To think about it. Most people spend more time thinking about their preparations for their Thanksgiving dinner or their July 4th barbecue than they do about, why am I here? Who am I? What am I supposed to do? Yes, invest in yourself. It is the greatest investment you can ever make. Invest in yourself means utilizing your most valuable asset. It's not your thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Your most valuable asset, the same one you share with Elon Musk or any of the other people that you know that by name that you know, and why should you? You have the same time as Taylor Swift. Time. Time stands for thinking it's miraculous every day. Thinking it's miraculous every day. When you begin that and say to yourself, I am going to invest in me. I'm going to sit here now by the water. I'm going to lay down here in the grass. I'm going to take a walk in the forest, climb the mountain. But as I do it, I'm going to think about what is my unique purpose. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in a flash. It takes time. Invest in yourself. 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. Throughout the course of the summer, I would urge everyone that's listening, even if you know your unique purpose already, invest 18 minutes every day. I didn't say half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, 18 minutes every single day throughout the summer in the most important person in your life. You. You're the most important person in your life. And if you're not, well, we got to shift right away and do that. Oh, Shift, by the way, is the title of my latest book. And on the cover of Oh, Shift, we use Scrabble tiles, and the F is just a little bit below the line, because in 42 years of working with people, more than 1 million people, 97.2% of the people drop the F in shift, and the other stuff happens. So you got to be careful with your Fs. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit. Just a little bit. Shift stands for something happening inside, facilitating transformation. Transformation. If you ask people, where are you going? I'm going to this rally. I'm going to listen to the speaker. And what's the purpose? Oh, inspiration. People think they want inspiration. It's great. It's like boiling water. Keep the fire up, it's boiling. You remove the pot from the stove. Well, that's what happens with inspiration. You're great for that weekend seminar and that one day, and you're up and things are happening, change of life. You know what happens 2 days later. That's inspiration. Information, oh my gosh, information all over the internet. It's readily available. And by the way, you know all you need to know. You already have everything that you need to know. It's what you want to do, what you need to do is start putting pieces together. You need to use your time, thinking it's miraculous every day, to think, to harness insightful neural connections and put them together and confront that difficult being. You know, the most critical person in your life. You know who it is. You know him by name. You know her by name. The name is you. We all know that. We all know you're the most hypercritical person in your life. Self-talk. Self-talk is the most important speech you'll ever hear. But let's go back to our skill set. What we want to do in the summertime, urging everybody, 18 minutes per day. Just think. Think about your unique purpose. Why are you here? Who are you? And now that you know, what are you supposed to do? I can share with you. It's not easy. It's a struggle. It's the only struggle that's worthwhile. Will you cry sometimes? Absolutely. Matter of fact, if you don't, I don't know how you're going to get clarity. Cry brings about clarity. Do you hear this? Yes. Sometimes it's a struggle. No, I'll say it even better. Every time it's a struggle. By the way, Edwin almost always asks me, Barry, not everybody knows you yet or me, and therefore we introduce ourselves and such. I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes about my background. So we talk about struggle, because you might say, well, Barry, sure, it's easy for you to talk about these things. You're rich and handsome and you have everything that's in life. And I do, and I am. Let me tell you a couple of stories. One is, imagine if you can, standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, and that evening being in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed from my neck down. And it was not an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease, which I never heard of the day before, that took over my body and rendered me what's called a quadriplegic, which means from my neck down, completely paralyzed. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. 2 years in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't turn over by myself. 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles for years, and that was progress. Thank God today, I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand, but I'm a tripod, not a biped. I still can't walk up a stair myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. It helps 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word. One word, which I'll give to you. I share with you. Smile. Smile. Yeah, smile. Smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. It's related to time. Thinking it's miraculous every day. See, you are a miracle. You live in a world of miracles. You want to further the ability to share the miraculous with everybody you meet, yourself, your family, your friends, all living beings. I got to tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. She says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about smile, why not? Sounds the same. I asked her how come. She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of an 8-year-old. What was she doing? She was creating the kind of world she wants to live in. CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. I leave you with this. While you're giving yourself the gift of 18 minutes a day, every single day, throughout the summer, every day. This will be a shift in the summer. You're going to make such a difference. While you're doing that, think of these 6 words. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will not only determine the pathway now of your life, but the trajectory. That's right. You have free will. You have the ability to choose. Choose life. Life stands for living inspirationally for eternity, to living in happiness, living in joy, 24/7. That doesn't mean you have to run around like this, say, whoopee! Okay, it's a good thing to do. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about that inner being that is in you, that resides in you, that radiates from you, that is living in happiness, living in joy. Joy stands for journey of you. That's what this is all about. The journey of you. Why are you here? Who are you? What are you supposed to do? That's your unique purpose. That is you living up to your best self. When you do that, the world becomes a better place. You make the difference. You're a mad person. MAD stands for make a difference. So again, from Edwin and Barry, the 3 fundamentals of life. Your life has purpose. Number 2 is go mad, go make a difference. Number 3 is unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms, such as WWW, what a wonderful world. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day, as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. Use the 2 most powerful words in English language, thank you, to harmonize and network kindness. Thank you, 3 times a day. So the blessing from Edwin and Barry is go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good looking people. Remember, you're good looking.